Hello, this is Chris Pierce, and welcome to the Self-Maintenance of the Brain and Body podcast. Welcome to episode 32. And if you listen to my last episode, I apologize. I called it episode 32 when it was actually episode 31. Anyway, in this episode, I will share the benefits of shivering and how allowing yourself to shiver triggers muscles to release a hormone that causes the body to burn fat. I'm constantly researching and testing various methods and devices to improve mental and physical health and increase longevity, and lately I have been focusing on the benefits of cold plunges and cold showers. I'm sure you've seen cold plunges all over social media as people are posting videos of them doing it. I recently purchased a small cold plunge pool and have been researching the benefits along with the water temperature and timing that you need within this cold water to meet the therapeutic needs. Typically after a cold plunge, it's so cold I quickly dry off and I warm up my body as fast as I can as I step out of this freezing water. But this led me to ask myself, what are the physiological effects of shivering? And are there extra benefits on top of soaking into cold water if I allow myself to shiver? Well, there is. And in fact, I found that it boosts the burning of calories and can be another method to support weight loss. In fact, Dutch researchers in a 2014 study published in the journal Cell Press found that, quote, regular exposure to mild cold may be a healthy and sustainable way to help people lose weight, end quote. So let me explain what is happening in your mind and body when shivering that influences weight loss. So we all have fat in our bodies. Some of us wish we didn't have so much, but the medical term for fat is adipose tissue. Our fat consists of white adipose tissue and brown adipose tissue, or we just say white fat and brown fat. So the primary organ responsible for storing energy produced from our bodies from the food we eat is white fat. And brown fat has the responsibility of generating heat to maintain a healthy body temperature when exposed to the cold. Within your brain, the hypothalamus is your body's thermostat, which attempts to regulate a constant body temperature of 98.6 degrees. So the hypothalamus is about the size of an almond and is located above the brainstem. When it senses your exposure to heat, it signals sweat glands to cool your body off. When the hypothalamus senses cold, it sends signals to your muscles to make you shiver. Shivering then stimulates what's called brown adipose tissue thermogenesis. This thermogenesis requires a higher metabolic demand, which leads to more fat burning. A 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients found that brown fat activation caused by cold exposure improves insulin sensitivity and lipid clearance and is a non-pharmacological approach to aid in weight loss and or improve one's metabolism. So how can you apply this knowledge? It's easy. Just make yourself shiver. Well, it may not be too easy because it is a tough task to not try and keep yourself warm when you're shivering. But here's some guidance on how you can do this. In the 2014 study I mentioned earlier that was published in the Journal of Cell Press, it recommends that we let our bodies shiver for 15 minutes to obtain the best fat loss results. Those of you who have a cold plunge pool or plunging in a cold lake, once you remove yourself from this cold water, you need to dig deep and avoid toweling off or getting warm and shoot for 15 minutes of shivering. Another option is taking a cold shower or sitting in a cold tub with ice. So the recommended therapeutic levels for the water is between 50 to 60 degrees. Another option is at the end of your normal shower, turn the water to cold only. Most research recommends staying in the water anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. Then turn off the water and start your shivering and your weight loss. So it's wintertime right now as I'm recording this episode, at least above the equator. So there's plenty of opportunities to be out in the cold. You can use this as an opportunity to shiver as well. Remember, anytime you're shivering because of the cold, your body's burning more fat in an attempt to keep you warm because the brown fat activates right before you start shivering and it burns calories. So my challenge is shiver to lose weight. This concludes this episode. Thank you for listening. Please tune in every Monday for another self-care tip. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and share it with your family and friends. Please check out my self-care book, Self-Health Andragogy, Self-Directed Learning Approach to Mental and Physical Self-Care. It's available on Kindle, print copy, and audiobook. You can find links to this book in the show notes of this podcast.